After releasing my Eastern Conference predictions video, the Wild West will be a roller coaster ride, much more competitive for postseason squads. Losing 3 in a row can result a 3 seed all the way down to the 9th in the span of a week. Load management, enough of that nonsense. If teams want to continue doing that, fall out of the play-in and miss the playoffs entirely, nobody should be feeling any remorse for those decisions. Starting with the worst of the worst, 15 seed Portland Trailblazers, post-Dame Lillard era, finally a full rebuild focused around rookie Scoot Henderson, will be in high contention for 2024's #1 pick. Simons already got his bag. Sharp entering year 2, one of the best pure athletes. Jeremy Grant putting up numbers like his Pistons days given his fat contract. Hard to see any contenders wanting him. DeAndre Ayton, new start on a bad team again, just like his first 2.5 seasons, can put up all the high number he wants. A different mix of young players. I say under 20 wins given how hard most of the team in the conference needs to play. 14th, the Houston Rockets. The addition of Fred VanVleet and Dillon Brooks, that's really gonna move the needle. At least the young guys will be more mature. After having the worst conference in the West 3 straight years, adios to Steven Silas. Welcome Ime Udoka will change the attitude of the guys. Ahmed Thompson with Jalen Green, good promising backcourt. Şengün looking like a franchise star going forward. The team's defense still horrible. Every Houston win will get more attention than deserved with Dillon Brooks' hard flex. But VanVleet's style will play. Will all the young guys be taking less shots? Team needs to figure out their true identity. Any slight amount of improvement, they'll gladly take. 13th, the San Antonio Spurs. Wemby looking like the true future face of the league. His preseason play absolutely leaving everyone speechless, but San Antonio, being a strategic franchise, won't rush the 7'4" prodigy to play heavy minutes. They know it will be a process to become contenders again. Pop being there for 5 more years, but year 3, teams should look super scary. Locked in 22-point scorer Keldon Johnson, extended Zach Collins, securing Devin Vassell. Given the stacked West with 13 teams capable of making the postseason, older teams will eventually decline in a year or 2. Non-Spurs fans can enjoy the franchise not being great for 1 more year, but will have to bear with their greatness for 2 decades. Wemby having all the tools, the retired players, professional culture at its highest, all eyes will be on the French phenom. 12th seed, the Utah Jazz, heavily overachieved the season ago. Them and San Antonio, potential rivals on the come up. Draft picks after draft picks, fans won't be shocked if the team finished worse than last season, from play-in spot to reckless tank in March and April. The intriguing front court of Kelly O, Markkanen and Walker Kessler very strong, but Clarkson and Sexton, being heat check guys, can still give the team headaches. Danny Ainge's rebuild strategy doesn't lose the way teams like San Antonio tries to. Will shut down guys later on the season if the situation presents a slightly better lottery pick in a weird position. Given at least 10 teams in the West better on paper, Utah will win plenty of home games due to the environment, just like the position OKC found themselves a season ago. The Jazz likely similar results. 11. The New Orleans Pelicans. I personally have no faith in the team staying healthy. No disrespect, but how many years has Zion's been in the league and he's only taking basketball and being in shape seriously? An absolute travesty of a mindset. Given all his talents, the medical staff also an absolute travesty. Brandon Ingram missed way too many games a season ago. 2022 was their come up only to be a come down. Sure, if Zion and BI both healthy, play over 70 games, they could win near 50, but looking more like the Clippers 2.0, except younger and less talented. BI like Paul George with the injuries, Zion and Kawhi both superstars when they suit up, but hard to get a read on them. Trey Murphy and Najee Marshall out for a while. Team started hot last season, but a multitude of injuries started to fall apart. Given the slight margin of error in the competitive conference, New Orleans, one of the most vulnerable teams, absolutely not trustworthy for 6 months of consistency. 10th seed, the Memphis Grizzlies, an absolute huge blow. Whole team literally went downhill after the Shannon Sharpe incident. Steven Adams' season-ending surgery was already out since January. All this wasted time, the now 30-year-old will have to wait nearly 2 years to seeing the NBA floor again. The best offensive rebound in the game, presence absolutely missed, plus Ja's 25-game suspension ruined the momentum of the team's progress. Looking back how great they were in 2022, many be thinking by 2024 they'd be conference finals contenders. Combined with the deflated Jarrett Jackson Jr., looked terrible for Team USA. Asked to play the 5 at times doesn't work well with his lack of rebounding. It'll be up to Desmond Bane to average 23 plus. Memphis hype died down. Even with Ja back, he'll have to develop chemistry with Marcus Smart himself. Team still far away from championship material. 9th seed, the Minnesota Timberwolves, 44 wins, Cat limited to 29 games a season ago. It's Anthony Edwards' team could be a dark horse squad to make it far in the playoffs, just like last season's Lakers, but Minnesota could absolutely get bounced first game of the play-in. Team got good chemistry going on with Nas Reed, McDaniel, and Gobert, more familiar with the system. It'll be up to Cat whether he wants to sacrifice to strengthen other parts of his game. Will Towns finally understand the importance of defense, make hustle plays, and team ball instead of falling in love with his threes and scoring numbers? One of the most well-rounded rosters. With Towns in trade discussions several times, will he be okay knowing it's Ant's team? Mike Conley heading towards his twilight years, team can very well become a top 3 seed or clinch first round home court with late season wins, but due to Towns melting under pressure, his struggles in important matchups will cause a couple game losing streaks, falling to the play-in. 8th seed Dallas Mavericks, also 44 wins. No way, no how will a Luka-led team allow the franchise to miss the postseason for 2 straight years. In a better state of mind, retaining Kyrie, whose behavior with Dallas actually exceeded expectations, limited off-court distractions, one of the most complicated teams to evaluate, not much depth, extended Josh Green 3 years, Hardaway Jr. a name in trade rumors, still same old Maxi Kleber, Dwight Powell, both finished products in their 30s, rookie big man Derek Lively will be thrown in big moments from the start. Given the lack of front court, team's offense will be one of the best, but rebounding and defense still huge flaws. Doncic being a top 5 player in the game, seeing how Jokic controlled himself last 3 years, while Doncic in MVP discussions last several seasons should be in the mix if things go right. Lots of close games, a quick start inevitable. Team might need to depend on Rashad Holmes to resurrect his 2021 self. As long as Doncic makes the playoffs, anything's possible, but the rest of the conference too loaded with depth. Dallas needs to be busy at the deadline if the team struggles early. 7th seed, the Oklahoma City Thunder. The emergence of SGA in top 10 player discussion, nobody expected his incredible rise to superstardom. The franchise player, a chance to become the best Thunder. If they contend for the next decade, win a championship. A play-in team last season finished with 40 wins without a big. Rookie runner-up Jalen Williams averaged 14 a game. Isaiah Joe, one of the most underrated shooters. The brilliant Chet Holmgren, looking like a future DPOY candidate, has it all, could just be the missing piece. The time for OKC is now. No more tanking, no more moral victories. Shea's ceiling through the roof, a master at controlling the tempo. Josh Giddey, a triple-double dread. Dork's perimeter defense elite, combined with the mobile Chet, definitely one of the most durable regular season teams, but still a little inexperience will cost them some close games, given the other teams will be fighting for same playoff positioning. As long as SGA plays 65 plus games, team should be more than okay. 6th seed, the LA Clippers, will they ever be okay? Given Kawhi misses many games and load manages, even Paul George, 87 total games played last 2 seasons, couldn't go by playoff time. Kawhi's knees getting worse, both 33 and 32 of age. If they couldn't be healthy the last 2 seasons, now getting older, the league getting faster and younger, what makes you think they'll be able to play over 70 games each? That statement laughable at this point. Won't even shock me if Russ Westbrook plays more games than Kawhi and George combined. The two in the back of their minds knows this could very well be the last hurrah. Just like the difficulty of Kyrie and KD's Nets, role players Robert Covington, Old Nick Batum, and Mason Plumlee aging, if Kawhi and PG can get any sort of rhythm, it'd be a miracle at this point if both can play 10 consecutive games together at once. But even with Leonard and George missing time, they still made the postseason due to having a deep team. Russ Westbrook will get many chances at good numbers. A fully healthy Clipper squad can beat anybody in the West. But with all that time passed, if Kawhi and Paul George have any heart, they gotta suck it up and play. Not worry about the season after and just be locked in to compete for a title. Anything but a deep playoff run would be a failure. 5th seed, the Los Angeles Lakers, 46 wins. Delusional Laker fans would say 60 wins. The ones who's most realistic predict between 45 to 55. Given the past injuries to LeBron and Davis, both missed 20 plus games each of the last 3 seasons. AD always something after another. When healthy, super dangerous, but there will be stretches. Both will be out the same games. Credit to Rob Pelinka for changing the team last midseason from what seemed to be missed playoffs to conference finals, retained D'Lo and Rui, added outside shooters Gabe Vincent, Taurean Prince, and Cam Reddish, low-risk, high-reward guys. Austin Reeves only got better as the season progressed, balled out in key moments of the playoffs, looked like the clear-cut dirt-best player on the roster. Some even mentioned him as potential all-star. Christian Wood will put up numbers here and there. Everybody will get a chance to play come regular season time, but if AD goes down, team's defense will collapse. Dependent upon the two superstar heavy guys, even with the upgrades, still ways to go. 4 seed Sacramento Kings, 47 wins, great regular season team, still disrespected and slept on due to a first round exit. One basket away from taking 3-1 lead on Golden State. Fox and Sabonis chemistry getting stronger. Regular season youth with Hunter, Murray, and Monk. This team will easily win many games. Strong home court. After a 7-game playoff taste, team should be motivated to remain on top of the West. Their offense works perfect for 82 games, but a weak defensive front court, a huge issue for the postseason. Defense not Sabonis' cup of tea. 3 seed Golden State Warriors, 47 wins. After being dysfunctional last season with the weird interactions of Draymond and Poole, team decided to bet on 33-year-old Green. Steph should continue being Steph. Wiggins fully back. Given age the biggest factor, why this team won't finish above 54 wins. CP and Steph should miss some games. Clay looking like there will be no extension. About to enter free agency, soon to be 34 years old, ridiculed for the disgusting second round performance. Looney their only real center at 6'9", Kuminga much improved offensively. The bench guys gotta give good minutes. Having all the championship pedigree, even with their lack of size, Steph Curry's never been swept or lost in 5 before. Golden State be a tough out if they don't win it all. 2nd seed, the Phoenix Suns, 52 wins, super loaded with their new big 3. Bradley Beal way better than CP at this stage of his career. Lots of sacrificing will have to be done. It'll be Devin Booker's team now, going all in or go home. Phoenix all the scoring in the world, but can they get stops? Saving money to move on from Ayton, downgrade to Nurkic, still defensive concerns, okay bench with Grayson Allen, Watanabe a good chemistry with KD, Eric Gordon solid shooter, Frank Vogel needs to establish strong culture. The reason they won't get the number 1 seed, of course Durant's lower body injuries. Every January seems to be a reoccurring thing. Several missed all-star games out couple weeks, team will absolutely get off to a blistering start, but with even Durant out several games, the duo of Beal and Booker should dominate and carry the load. Beal only played 40 and 50 contests each of the last 2 seasons. All 3 need to be at full strength in competing for a title. 1st seed Denver Nuggets, all the confident in the world. Regular season ball will be a cakewalk. Jokic triple doubles in 20 minutes. Murray going off many nights. Still young enough to compete for several more years. Best chemistry in the league. AG the perfect 4. The loss of Bruce Brown only opens the door for Christian Brown. Made his impacts felt in the finals. Porter Jr. still age 25. Improvement still on this way. The same old Mike Malone screaming when team takes the gas off the pedal. Only way for Denver to not win it all. If their bench so weak they don't make an impact. Fatigue can come late playoffs, could be a factor. Jokic has played heavy ball, carrying the load from the bubble to all of 2021. No help 2022 to play until last June last season. The best player in the game seems well rested, should only get better as the season progresses. Along with my Eastern Conference predictions for playoffs, I have Orlando beating the Raptors, a 10 vs 9 matchup. Miami over Indiana, 7 vs 8. Indy then beats Orlando, leading to a Bucks-Pacers first round. Giannis Dame too much for Halliburton, a sweep. Boston over Miami this time, having Drew and Porzingis more than enough to knock off Jimmy and Bam in 6. Cleveland in 7 over Trae Young's Hawks. New York over Philly in 6. Physicality too much for Embiid. The West I have Minnesota over Memphis, 9 vs 10, OKC over Dallas, then the Mavs over the Wolves due to Luka refusing to lose 2 straight, plus Cat choking under pressure, 1 vs 8, Denver easily beating Dallas in 5, Jokic toying with Derek Lively or Dwight Powell, Phoenix in 6 over tough OKC, a possessed SGA plus young legs, Suns will face early adversity. Believe it or not, I have the Clippers over Golden State, betting on Leonard and George being healthy, Westbrook always giving CP3 problems, 2 old teams, that Chris Paul curse continues, losing to his former team. How humiliating would that be? The Lakers over the Kings in 6, AD too athletic for Sabonis, out east, Milwaukee over New York in 5, Brunson, Randle no match for Lillard and Giannis, Boston over Cleveland in 6, the Nuggets beating the Lakers in 5. Phoenix over the Clippers in 6. Leonard likely slowed down by round 2 after a grueling first round series. Conference Finals, Bucks over Celtics in 7. Giannis finally getting past Boston, combined with Lillard and Middleton stepping up in crunch time, with either Tatum and Brown going cold. Denver over Phoenix in 6 again. Jokic destroying Nurkic. AG battering KD, giving us a 2024 Giannis vs Jokic showdown. This time, I'm going with Milwaukee in 7 over Denver. Could be an all-time great final series for the ages. Settling the Giannis vs Jokic debate, nothing better than the 2 best players in the finals, with 1 game deciding all the marbles. My preseason title predictions, the Milwaukee Bucks. Your early season thoughts, let me know in the comments below. More amazing topics coming soon. Stay tuned, subscribe, and see you soon.